Have you ever picked a cat and felt like you chose wrong later? Not because you don't love them, but because something just doesn't match what you expected? Maybe you thought you were getting a calm, quiet companion and ended up living with a tiny orange tornado that thinks gravity is optional. Or maybe you expected affection and got a cat who sits 3 feet away like you're a coworker they tolerate. Now here's the uncomfortable question. What if part of that mismatch started the moment you chose your cat's color? Sounds a little ridiculous at first, right? Color is just appearance. But think about this for a second. What if color isn't just what you see, but a clue to how your cat experiences the world? And if that's true, what happens when you choose based on looks instead of patterns? Because this isn't about picking the wrong cat. It's about missing signals before they even happen. And once you see what's actually going on here, a lot of those weird behaviors start making a whole lot more sense. 1. Color doesn't create personality, but it can nudge it. Let's clear something up right away, because this is where a lot of videos go off track. Your cat's color does not decide their personality. There is no secret orange equals chaos switch in their brain. But color is tied to genetics, and genetics can influence things like energy levels, sensitivity, social tendencies. Think about it like this. Color isn't the personality. It's more like a background setting. It can tilt things slightly in one direction. And when you combine that with environment, early experiences, and your own behavior, that's when patterns start to show up, which explains why certain types of cats feel familiar across different homes. But here's where people get tripped up. They expect the pattern to be a guarantee. And when it isn't, that's when confusion starts, which leads to one of the biggest misconceptions people carry into choosing a cat. 2. The orange cat expectation trap. You've probably seen it. The internet loves orange cats. They're described as friendly, clingy, chaotic, slightly questionable decision makers. And yes, some research and surveys do show orange cats scoring higher in sociability. But here's the part most people don't think about. A lot of orange cats are male, and male cats, on average, tend to be more outgoing, more territorial, more attention-seeking. So now you've got 2 overlapping patterns, and suddenly it looks like color is the cause. But what happens when you adopt an orange cat expecting constant affection and playful chaos, and you get a quieter, more independent one? Now it feels like something is off. Not because the cat is wrong, but because the expectation was too specific. And that mismatch? That's where frustration quietly builds. But wait, because the opposite expectation can create a completely different kind of misunderstanding. 3. Why calm cats get misread the most. Let's talk about the cats people often describe as easy. Black cats, gray cats, darker-coated cats in general. They're often labeled as calm, independent, low maintenance. And in many cases, they do adapt well. But here's the part that changes how you see it. Calm doesn't mean distant, and quiet doesn't mean disconnected. Some of these cats bond deeply. They just do it without making a big show of it. They sit near you, follow at a distance, stay in the same room, without asking for attention. And a lot of owners miss it, because they're waiting for jumping into laps, constant meowing, obvious affection. So instead, they think, my cat isn't that attached. When in reality, the cat is there, just speaking in a quieter language. And once you miss that signal enough times, the relationship starts to feel one-sided. But that's not the only place where expectations and reality start drifting apart. 4. The one-person cat surprise. Some cats don't spread their attention evenly. They choose one person, and that's it. This shows up a lot in tortoiseshell, calico, mixed pattern cats. And you've probably seen it before. One person walks into the room, the cat lights up. Someone else tries to pet them. Suddenly, it's absolutely not. Now here's the interesting part. This isn't attitude, it's selectivity. Some cats are simply more reactive and more sensitive to interaction. They don't filter everything the same way. So instead of bonding broadly, They go deep with one person, which can feel amazing or very confusing, depending on which side of that decision you're on. And if you weren't expecting that, it can feel like rejection, even though it isn't. Now, this next part is subtle, but once you see it, you won't unsee it. 5. Some cats respond more to environment than personality. Let's shift away from color for a second and look at something even more important: sensitivity. Some cats, often described as softer in appearance, tend to react more strongly to changes in routine, new sounds, unfamiliar environments. Now imagine choosing a cat based purely on how they look, bringing them into a busy, unpredictable home, and wondering why they seem nervous, withdrawn, easily startled. It's not that they're difficult, it's that their threshold for stimulation is lower. And when that threshold is constantly crossed, they don't relax. They adapt by pulling back. But here's the twist. Move that same cat into a calmer environment, and suddenly they become affectionate, relaxed, social. Same cat, different outcome, which tells you something important. Color didn't decide the personality. Environment revealed it. And this is exactly where most people start connecting dots that weren't meant to be connected. Now I'm curious, is your cat more of a main character chaos type? Or the quiet observer who judges from across the room? What color are they? And did they match what you expected? 6. Communication style matters more than color. Now here's where things start to shift completely. Because what really shapes your experience with a cat is how they communicate. Some cats are vocal. They'll tell you everything. Hungry, bored, mildly inconvenienced by your existence. Others, silent observers. They communicate through body position, movement, proximity. So if you expect a quiet cat and get a vocal one, it feels overwhelming. If you expect a vocal cat and get a quiet one, it feels like something is missing. But neither is wrong. They're just different communication styles. And here's the part most people overlook. You don't just learn your cat. You learn how your cat communicates. And when that clicks, everything changes. But there's still one last piece that ties all of this together. 7. You didn't choose the wrong color. You misread the signal. So let's come back to the idea we started with. Choosing the wrong cat color. Now that you've seen the patterns, here's what's actually happening. People aren't choosing the wrong cat. They're choosing based on appearance and expecting behavior. But behavior isn't that simple. It's genetics, environment, experience, communication, all layered together. Color might hint at patterns, but it doesn't define outcomes. And once you understand that, you stop trying to match a cat to an idea and start paying attention to the individual in front of you, which is where things finally start to make sense. So that moment at the beginning, when you felt like you picked the wrong cat, that wasn't a mistake. It was just a missing piece of the puzzle. And now you've got it. All right, I should probably go see why my cat just made a life decision at full speed. And I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with his color. Catch you next time. FurEver.